Pandora, also known as Ava's child by the Na'vi, this is an Earth-like habitable moon located in the Alpha Centauri system, the closest star system to humanity. Is the fifth moon of the giant gas planet called Polyphemus, which orbits Alpha Centauri A. This star is 26 trillion miles or 42 trillion kilometers away. Pandora, which orbits Polyphemus, has a life-sustaining atmosphere and a habitable climate that allows for a lush ecosystem to develop. In this alien biome, innumerable creatures and species have evolved to fill each and every niche available. And here in this video we will list down the flying species of this world and discuss the size differences between two of the largest aerial creatures found there, the great Leonopteryx, also known as TORUK, and another newly discovered species, the stormglider. Let's get to it. Firstly, here is the great Leonopteryx, which is a Pandoran species that is closely related to the banshees, and it shares many similarities with it. This large apex predator of the skies is primarily colored red and yellow with black stripes and blue crests on its head and under its lower jaw. The great Leonopteryx possesses powerful jaws capable of opening wide enough to cleave a mountain banshee in half. Its wingspan exceeds 25 meters or 82 feet and can even reach over 30 meters for some exceptional individuals. The wings consist of individual fin membranes that separate to act as slotted airfoils to overlap or to form a solid surface. When separated, these fin membranes can rotate individually to control vortex formations similar to the primary feathers of many terrestrial birds. This allows it to fly and make sharp turns in its hunt for the smaller prey items. Their habitat is difficult to ascertain, but it is theorized that they rule the skies over the forested lands and the Hallelujah Mountains. They are also very powerful and resilient creatures, being able to fight each other for territory for a span of nearly 3 hours straight, until both fell to their deaths, as was reported. The TORUK of Jake Sully, as was seen in the first Avatar movie, is around 10 feet in height, on the ground on all its legs. It is said that it has a wingspan of 25 meters or 82 feet, and was a large adult individual at that time. But the size of other great Leonopteryxes could even be greater, with reports stating that they could possess a wingspan of 31 meters or more than 100 feet wide, making them 4 times bigger than that of the banshees. So now we come to the stormgliders. These are the new aerial apex predators introduced in Avatar: The Frontiers of Pandora. These are large, territorial and ferocious carnivores which are at the top of the food chain, and they soar the skies above the coastlines and other plain areas. The stormglider's exceptional wingspan enables it to have long gliding flights, utilizing updraft winds at great heights. And despite its considerable size and lack of agility, it could still dive swiftly to attack prey, and using its barbed poisonous tail, it can pierce even thick armor. However, it is more vulnerable on the ground, not weak but still vulnerable due to its huge wings. These are mostly solitary predators and only pair up for mating and to raise an offspring, making a pair of them hunting together one of the most dangerous encounters on Pandora. This creature is said to have an average wingspan of 38 meters or 124 feet wide, and maybe with individuals reaching more than 40 to 45 meters in some instances. Its body length as well is huge, with an average of 20 meters or 65 feet long. So how does this one compare to the TORUK? Well, the stormglider is definitely longer and has a wider wingspan than the great Leonopteryx, with its average of 124 feet or 38 meters versus a maximum of the TORUK, which is 31 meters or a little bit more than 100 feet. Its body length is also significantly longer due to the presence of a singular long tail with a poisonous barb. It measures 65 feet or 20 meters long, while the TORUK is around 10 to 12 feet shorter than it. On all its 4 legs on the ground, the stormglider stands at 13 feet tall, while the TORUK is around 10 to 11, which isn't really such a big gap of difference. And also there is no data on weight, but I would expect the new entry to be around 20 to 30% heavier than the great Leonopteryx due to its bigger size and dimensions. Now, which one of these is more powerful? So both these flying creatures are apex predators in their own respective habitats, with the stormglider having a wider range that includes the western frontier and the upper plains, while the TORUK is only seen near the Hallelujah Mountains and in some parts above the forest. This tells us that the stormglider might be a more successful species and could in theory propagate more and survive changes in its habitat. It is a generalist while the TORUK is a specialist. With regard to strength, however, both of these creatures have massive sharp talons and hooked fingers on their wings. Both have also large mouths full of sharp teeth, and they both can swoop down on their prey from high above. The stormglider has one advantage over the TORUK, and that is its poison barbed tail that is sharp enough to pierce even thick armor and capable of paralyzing victims. They are also sometimes found in hunting pairs, while the TORUK is always seen alone. While we can say that the great Leonopteryx or the TORUK has great endurance in fighting for hours on end, as is witnessed in their territorial battles against each other, unlike others of their own kind, it is highly unlikely that this endurance will work for the stormglider on account of the poison-tipped tail that would paralyze the TORUK or at least make it drowsy and incapable of proper flight and battle. But that's just what we think. It could be that the TORUK is way more vicious and ravenous than the stormglider. But as of the current data, it points towards the stormglider being the winner in a majority of fights. Anyway, that's that. If you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel for other monster content. We might just have things you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.